3 words to describe our plugin.
Very sick. So the Matt Greiner Drumforge plugin came to be over the course, actually, of many years.
I think in 2013 we started recording Rescue and Restore, and we decided we wanted to work with Matt and create a drum sampler.
We've been kind of trying to chase this particular drum sound for a while and never really fully were happy with the samples every time we tried to record them. So
we cared a lot about this, and we really didn't want to sacrifice anything. So I can't tell you how many times we called up Matt and said, "Hey Matt, I'm actually serious. Can we redo this?" And it's a lot of work to sit there and sample those drums again and again.
There's a whole art to recording drum samples for a drum library like this, and there are a lot of details that you wouldn't think of.
It has taken us years and so many attempts to get this right, and it's finally right. It's finally sounding the way that it should. And I would even say that it exceeds my expectations for this.
It's the culmination of a lot of effort and a lot of years of trial and error and doing things over and over again. And we're really excited to get it out there.
This drum sampler is basically Matt. You know, it's him hitting everything. It is how he hits. It sounds like him.
We really wanted to capture the sound of Matt playing drums in the studio.
My drum sound is printed on this plugin in a way that actually kind of surprised me. So we had my kit set up, mic'd, tuned, and Grant actually went into the room to hit some drums. And then I, of course, went and tracked the whole plugin, and we compared the two. And it was crazy how it's the same kit, the same tuning, same room, same engineer, and just the way that you hit the drum makes for a completely different sound.
Essentially, if you want Matt, you know, in a plugin, this is it.
And the great thing about this is it's Matt's kit and it's totally unique. He's got cymbals that he's worked on with Zildjian that are his signature cymbal. They don't exist in any other plugin. So we've got some unique sounds, which is really cool.
So I'm really excited about all the drums and cymbals that we use for this plugin. We ended up going with 7 different toms, 7 different snare drums, 2 kicks, and 17 cymbals. As far as the drums are concerned, we have my Touring DW Collector Series kit. We have the Studio DW Collector Series kit with re-rings. And then we have a wide array of different snare drums. So I have my Truth snare drum in here. I got that drum when I was doing the Constellation cycle. It was one of my favorites. I sold it, recently got it back. So stoked to have that on this plugin. I have a Stone snare. I have a couple DW snares. I have a couple Greiner Kilmer snares. There is a wide array of snare drums that run the gamut. Tuned high, tuned low, and it will offer a really complex amount of sounds. As far as the cymbals, all Zildjian, and I did everything from A customs to K customs. And of course, one thing that I'm just super proud about is getting my Zildjian 7-inch blast bell into a plugin. So about 12 years ago, I drove up to Norwell, Massachusetts, and I designed a bell with Zildjian. I wasn't happy with any bells on the market. I really liked the LP Ice Bell sound. And I eventually got a bunch of bells that I thought sounded pretty cool from them and toured on them for a while. And now, of course, I have the 7-inch blast bell, which is in this plugin. You can have it, and you can implement it into your sound.
The great thing about working with Drumforge is we really learned what this product is and who it's for.
Even though it is very distinctly Matt's signature style and sound, the samples are incredibly versatile.
We wanted a product that you can open up and right away open up the factory default setting. It's our sounds. It's got our chain. It's got the compression.
You know, there are a lot of cool presets that we've taken some time to dial in for like mix-ready applications, but if you want to take all that stuff and strip it away, then you have essentially very raw drum samples and you can mix them however you want.
A lot of people don't want to take the time to, sit and dial in the perfect setting. I mean, the cool thing is you can do all that too. It's got all kinds of parameters that you can adjust. It's got a full mixer window with different inserts and EQs, compressors, etc. But even myself included, the seasoned producer, doesn't often feel like taking the time to set up and create sounds when all you want to do is get your ideas down. So the cool thing about this plugin is that it's got a lot of great presets right out of the box, and you can just start working and inspire creativity right away.
I think that this plugin will be very useful to all different types of genres and musicians.
Carson and Grant are the two people I trust most in the control room.
Grant and I have been working together for 15 years now, and we've got such a shorthand with each other in terms of what we want to hear and how to do things.
We've always been able to keep each other in check and watch each other's back. The cool thing is we both maintain relative objectivity, so a lot of times if I'm not in the room and then Carson comes in and asks for my opinion on something, I'm able to hear it for the first time and give him my honest feedback. Where when you're sitting twisting a knob, over and over again, you sort of start to second guess some decisions. And that has been really invaluable for us over the years in our production and with this plugin. I mean, we've both been able to think of something that the other person hasn't, and I think all those details really add up in the end.
So between the three of us, we really are able to come together and when we get something to a place where all three of us like it, we all know that it's a good place and it's ready to be heard and to be released.
I think I've learned more and more that patience is key. I've wanted to rush and get this thing out there, and the correct answer was no. We need to stop and really think about this and make sure that the quality of the product is the most important thing. Looking at every detail, examining, re-examining, and being willing to go back to the drawing board and start over again and again.
For example, snare drum. When you go through the different articulations, you're doing ghost note, soft, medium, hard, hard, and rim shot. So I brought in a mirror. And I set it up beside me, and having the visual of how high my stick is coming off of the drum or cymbal was extremely helpful in making sure that I was staying consistent inside of that articulation, and then also getting myself up to the next one without going too far.
The amount of detail you have to listen for. This isn't like setting up a kit and just ripping,
I found that a lot of drum samples lack in the softer or more dynamic department, from the soft or the ghost notes to the medium hard, and I understand why now after having done this so many times. That is a hard range to quantify how hard you're actually hitting something. It's fairly obvious to see it when you're in Pro Tools and you see how high your peak velocities are, but when you're in that room it can be really difficult. Having the mirror there helped me just gauge how far my stick was coming off of the head and therefore how loud it would be.
I admit I fought many times to just get it done and get it out there, but the correct answer was to do it again, because every time that we re-recorded this, it's been better, and I just think what we have now is the best possible product we can absolutely have.
So this project is the culmination of a bunch of years and a bunch of different studios and just tons and tons of figuring it out and learning from our mistakes along the way.